What do you think is the social life like in engineering? What are the parties like? Of course, you went to a lot more parties than I did. So,
What can I say, man? Being social pays off. Being not a nerd pays off. To anyone's watching this, don't be a nerd. Don't actually. If you're a nerd, just be a closeted nerd. You don't have to come out. No one needs to know that. Kidding, I'm kidding. I think both of us are like,
we're both nerds. We're both big nerds. So
yeah,
let's
like
not
I
do
don't know. I don't know who I'm kidding, but like, parties. Uh, I mean, first year was nice. So I actually met one of my closest friends in first year, and it happened that I met them during soccer.
It's okay. You don't have to talk about me so
No, I would love to. So I'm not talking about you. I didn't. So first year, Arnav was a legend in first year. So the reason why he was a legend is because we used to get these like weekly assignments, and Arnav was a god at solving them. It was Arnav and Harshan and like three other brown gods. I guess like that's what we call them. And these mans were like, yo, like we can solve anything. Anywho, sorry, that's why Arnav. He wasn't famous for his partying habits. It was if that wasn't abundant or that wasn't clear.
you just
Uh,
didn't see me, you know, like you didn't see me at parties. That's all.
Allah, thank God, my eyes were saved. Um, so parties in first year, but I think this ties into like me making friends. But the way I made one of my closest friends at that time. Unfortunately, we're not that close. So Connor, Dan, if you're watching this, I am sorry. I miss you guys. But so I met one of my closest friends, and this guy was also at the soccer tryout. So I was trying out for soccer, intramural, as Arnav said. Like I was playing sports because like that, I was playing soccer, and that was my way of like um, letting go of my stress. Uh, so I saw Connor in the field, and we are both trying out, and I'm like, oh hey, I saw you in class, and Connor's like, yo, I saw you in class too, because we are both in track one. Um, Funniest thing, I tried doing a rainbow flip, which is like you get the ball over your head. I failed miserably. While they were like, yo, we need to make teams. I failed miserably doing a rainbow, and Connor started
It,
laughing his ass off.
is there a recording for that? I haven't
Nah,
seen
bro, I
that.
thought you would say the dynamic between me and Connor was like, yeah, I would be doing like the craziest skill, but I would fail miserably when it comes to the actual game because I somehow I managed to screw up the basic, most simple passes, but I make like the nicest pass. Like it just I don't know how it works, but like that was me in first year. I think that's still me right now, but I meet Connor. Connor's like, yo, like we grabbed lunch together with a couple of folks because Connor was living on campus at that time at the Chestnut, which is the engineering residence for University of Toronto. We can talk about it, but it's just basically all the engineering kids used to live there. So Connor's like, hey, me and a couple of buds like are grabbing lunch. Do you want to come over? Like, I mean, we can go to classes together and like we can just. So I go there. I meet Connor's roommate Dan at that time. So immediately I have and we started getting tight because like whenever Connor was there, Dan was there, and they're both in track one. So we would like sit together in all of our classes. Um, while I had Connor and Dan Dan had a couple of friends like Tongwa, TW, and then there were like other friends like Flora, Leisha, like who are not even from engineering, who are also there because they all went to high school together. Eventually, I somehow managed to be like befriend a group of like 8 or 9 kids all in a period of like 3 days just by me making that extra effort to talk to someone while I went to the soccer tryout. So which was crazy for me because like I would not have imagined that, but I ended up doing that. So yeah, I started hanging out with these kids, and like a lot of them, 3 of them, 4 of them were also in track one. So it's like we would always study together. We had the same exact assignments, same exact classes, same exact professors. And Snapchat was crazy. I'm not sure if you remember, but like back in 2015, Snapchat, you take a snap and make fun of the professor by taking a screenshot, which is like I'm so sorry for doing that, but as a first year student, that was my peak entertainment. Sorry, I
So,
think yeah,
a
go on.
small bit about me, I've never used Snapchat in my life.
Every like I see like I mean you think that I'll be surprised, but knowing you, I'm not. Like it's like you would literally not invest in anything. That's not like a smart thing to do because you're like the kind of dude you're like, yo, I just like studying. I like doing that nerdy thing. I like playing chess. I like bro, like, shut up. Anyway.
Yeah,
Anywho, Anywho, so I started going out with these people, and then
Mhm.
every weekend it was like, hey, let's go grab KBBQ, or every other day it was like, let's grab dinner together.
Sorry, what's KBBQ for
Oh,
people who
Korean
don't know?
barbecue. Sorry,
Yeah,
Korean barbecue. It's like basically
yeah.
you just get raw meat, you cook it. Basically, you're paying to cook your own meat. That's exactly what it is. But the meat tastes good, and anyone Korean who's
Mhm.
watching this, I'm so sorry. Toronto does not have that many good KBBQ places, so you'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, you know what would be a good interesting video idea for next time? Maybe we can actually like list out all the restaurants in Toronto that
In
are really
Toronto,
good. Yeah.
bro, oh my god, this guy is coming up with ideas as we are recording this. But anywho, so I used to hang out with these kids, and like it was really nice. And we actually had an international, we had an international student in that host friend group, and it was really nice. It wasn't because like we weren't friends with him because he was an international student. We were friends with him because we
Yeah.
liked him as a person, and it
Yeah.
was a very diverse friend group. It wasn't like, oh, I was the only brown kid, Connor was white, Dan was Korean, Tung was
Mhm.
Korean, Flora was Asian. There was another like European dude, Asian. So it was a very diverse friend group, and I think we were just like always hanging out together. Every weekend, Connor and Dan be like, "Yo, like come over." Every Friday, it's like, "Yo, come over to Chestnut." We are all hanging out, and we would go to like small parties together. Um, it was not like anything super like super complicated. We would go to frat parties, or we would go like maybe clubbing every once in a while. And I was not nearly as involved with these
Yeah.
people because they lived together. But I think I tried my best to commute downtown, getting involved with them.
Mhm.
So that's how I got involved. I started going out for parties and stuff. And it
Yeah.
wasn't like, and also one last thing is like, I don't drink either. I don't really drink at all. I actually don't drink because of my religion. I'm Muslim.
Mhm.
So I don't drink, and I would still hang out with these people. They would drink a lot, but they made sure that they understood that they I don't drink, and it's a boundary for me, and they never crossed that line. They never forced me to do them. They never forced me to do anything that I was not comfortable with. And I made that very clear. I was like, guys, I cannot drink, and I'm not going to drink. I have issues. I would not like to break that boundary, and I still got invited to parties. I still had a great time. I think I'm a pretty fun guy. I personally, and I think I don't need alcohol to bring a different side of me personally.